Hey, it's Wes Pruett from 4-Star Sports Media, your 24/7 home for sports coverage. Podcasts, live shows, and expert takes all in one place. 4star.live on web and 4Star Sports M on X. From the hardwood of Hogs Hoops to conference crunch of college football, we're diving deep. Whether it's Memphis Preps, the latest NFL headlines, or ringside breakdowns of WWE and AEW, it's all happening here at 4Star Sports Media.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the debut episode of 4-Star Sports Central. This is the flagship episode every week right here. We're talking ball, and it's going to be a lot of fun as well. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I really want to tell you, this is going to be what I think is going to be a lot of fun of a show to run. It's going to be a show that runs on Saturday only. So you can just look forward to seeing it every single Saturday right here on 4-Star Sports Media. But it's your weekly blast of pure sports chaos. I'm Wes Pruett, and like I said, this is the flagship of 4-Star Sports Media, the show where we're going to build our Saturdays around. And it's also a show that every single week right here, we're going to talk ball like adults. College football, playoff pictures across the nation, the pros, biggest storylines on the board, all the way across the board. 4-Star Sports Central is also presented by SeatGeek, your new home for live events. And if you're heading to a game, whether it's college football, MLB, NBA, NHL, concerts, whatever it may be, don't roll the dice on sketchy tickets. Hit SeatGeek, throw in promo code 4-Star Sports Media, all capital letters. That's the number 4. Star Sports Media, all capital letters. And you get $20 off your first ticket purchase of $50 or more. Yes, folks, that's 4-Star Sports Media at checkout on SeatGeek. Get in the game. Since this is night one, here's what we want this show to be built to do. Or this is what this show is built to do. This is the place you come once a week to get your entire sports brain reset, in a sense. We're going to give you 3 things every Saturday, more simplified show, and it's going to be a story of the week, the one thing in sports that you have to understand if you want to keep up. We're going to give you programs on the brink, teams and programs standing right on the edge of a season that can change everything. And then we're going to give you the Southwest Airlines Rewards scoreboard, the games and series that actually matter before you flip over to live action. And by the time the show ends, you should feel sharper, more informed, and ready to talk sports the rest of the weekend and going into the week. So let's kick off the debut the right way with our very first story of the week, and that is how the one window transfer era and a 12-team playoff are reshaping college football. When you look at college football, it's a sport that we here at 4-Star Sports Media cover year round, and it used to be chaos on layaway. You had the winter portal, then you had a spring portal. So if you messed up in December, you could try and get it fixed in April. Well, that world, folks, is now completely gone. We are now in a one window transfer portal era. And all the real movement happens right after the season. And when that window closes, your roster is essentially, basically locked in. Now, that does three things. Number one, it turns January into the most important month without games. Number two, it exposes how you can actually evaluate and plan and who is just guessing on talent. And number three, and possibly most importantly, it punishes you if you're trying to build a roster on vibes and headlines instead of a real plan. Now you take that and you stack that on top of a 12-team college football playoff that is going to expand. And really it all sets up of if you win your league, you're in fantastic shape. If you live in that 10 or 11 window range in a power conference, you're always going to be very much alive for a bit. And those old we went 11-1 and got robbed arguments are a lot tougher to sell. Now, here's the tension in all this. The one window portal makes it harder to slap band-aids on a soft roster, and the 12-team current playoff makes it easier to be rewarded if you're stable and well built. Players that know who they are, that recruit to a clear identity and execute in that window, they're built for this style of play. They're built for this era. Programs that are chasing Twitter posts, propaganda pushing, flipping half the roster every offseason with no real plan, well, this era potentially is beginning to chew those teams up. And there are two programs living right at the intersection of all of this. They're basically test cases for this new world of college football. And those two programs are the University of Colorado and the University of Penn State. And that's what this show is all about. Not just giving you the headline, but in addition to that, giving you the context. So coming up next in Programs on the Brink, we're going to talk about why 2026 is a hinge year for both Colorado's portal experiment and for Penn State's playoff ceiling.
Hey, it's Wes Pruett from 4-Star Sports Media. Before they make it to the majors, they make their mark right here in Northwest Arkansas. The Naturals are about to light up the diamond in 4-Star Sports Media as you cover it on every base. From rising stars to unforgettable moments, it all starts here with 4-Star Sports Media. Podcasts, live shows, and expert takes all in one place. 4star.live on web and 4-Star Sports M on X. Your 24/7 home for sports coverage from every possible angle.
Welcome back in segment 2 of 4-Star Sports Central. We're talking programs on the brink. We're starting with Colorado, and the question is, can the portal model actually win? So we start with Colorado. No one has leaned into the portal era harder, I don't believe. Huge roster flips, cameras everywhere, Dion on the sideline, viral clips every other day. It's been a show so far in Boulder. But the scoreboard hasn't caught up to the show just yet. In a one-window world, there's no spring bailout. Colorado has to nail talent and toughness in one window. They have to also fix trenches, not just the Instagram positions. And then they have to live with those decisions for 12 games, which is what we've seen recently out of the Buffaloes. And oh, by the way, you're doing all this in a Big 12 that is deep and physical. You have real road trips. You got big horses up front. and there's not many layups along the way. And when you look at Colorado, the fork in the road is very simple. If the Lions are better, they win a couple of those, quote, grown man games and get to 6-7 wins, the narrative changes. Now you can say, okay, the model's flashy, but it's not just flash. There's actually some substance. But if they can't continue to run the ball, stop the run, you're looking at another 3 or 4 win season. That's fun show, hard ceiling label is going to stick. Colorado in 2026 is the case study for a portal heavy, personality driven build in a one window era. And it's simple. If it works here, a lot of people are going to copy the pieces of it. And if it doesn't, a lot of coaches who will quietly say, we're not going to do that. But then you look on the other side of that coin, and earlier I mentioned we're going to talk Penn State. Are they forever good, or are they finally dangerous? And it's one of the steadiest programs in the country, double-digit wins, top 10 finishes, big-time environment there in Happy Valley. Nobody argues that they're a good team. No one argues, is it an incredible environment? The question is, are the Penn State Nittany Lions dangerous? And when you start listing a handful of teams that can actually win the entire CFP National Championship, Penn State generally will sit just outside of the inner circle of teams. Now, you look at the 12-team playoff, you look at their 2026 season, and if you combine those two things, I believe it gives them a real chance to change that narrative. Here's the thing, folks. They're walking into a year where the non-conference slate is manageable. If you want to be taken seriously, you go 3-0. The league schedule hands you multiple chances at true signature wins, both at home and on the road. And the format essentially is saying, give us one marquee win, no dumb losses, and you're going to be right in the mix. And that's why they're on the brink. They're wedged, seemingly always, between 10-2 and a team that you really don't want to see as a 4 seed in the playoff. If they finally hit in those heavyweight moments and avoid the random slip-ups that have bitten them before, they become actually the kind of team that this era will generally reward. They're stable, they're dangerous, they're almost always in the Big 12. If it's another year of solid but predictable, beat who they should, lose the same kind of games in the same kind of spots, they're always good, rarely great label is going to get continually loud. So as the new year under Matt Campbell, first year under new head coach, on that edge in 2026, Colorado is deciding whether the portal experience is sustainable. Penn State's coming in with a new head coach, new era, and it's deciding whether to stay steady or become genuinely scary. After the break, we're going to fly through the scoreboard powered by Southwest Airlines Rewards and get you ready for everything happening tonight.
Hey, it's Wes Pruett from 4-Star Sports Media. The Ozarks have hockey fever, and 4-Star Sports Media is your cure. Get exclusive Arkansas hockey coverage, player stories, and everything that makes Arkansas hockey unstoppable. Hogs can skate, and at 4-Star Sports Media, hockey lives, breathes, and breaks the ice. Podcasts, live shows, and expert takes all in one place. 4star.live on web and 4-Star Sports M on X.
Welcome back into 4-Star Sports Central. I'm Wes Pruett. Appreciate everyone tuning in on this Saturday evening. It's now time to get on the plane and fly through the scoreboard powered by Southwest Airlines Rewards. We appreciate SeatGeek as the official studio host, and we now get to talk a little bit about Southwest Airlines. It's one that we'll be using coming up. And if you follow your teams across the country, every trip ought to work for you. With Southwest Airline Rewards, the more you fly, the more points you stack towards that next trip to see your squad in person. No drama, no hidden games. Just rewards for what you're doing. Just rewards for doing what you already do as a fan. And that's travel. So check out Southwest Airlines Rewards and let your fandom take flight. All right, let's hit the board. Let's look over the scoreboard. Let's take a aerial view of what's happening across sports as a whole. One of my favorite segments during the week is this segment right here. Let's look at the NBA as the Oklahoma City Thunder have announced themselves. They didn't just beat the Lakers. They slammed the door on them. Shai looked like top-tier guy. The young core handled the moment, and they controlled a series against one of the biggest brands in all of sports. When you look at the Thunder, they're a team nobody wants to face. And that's the jump from fun and young to you might have to go through us to get out of the West. Because I think when you look at the Thunder, they're the all-out favorite right now. And to get out of the West, you got to go through them. But there's a certain team waiting on them. We'll get to that in a minute. And then you've got Cavs, Pistons, Spurs, Wolves. You got some pressure basketball. In the East, Cavs and Pistons have turned into an absolute grinder. Tight margins, big swings, and all the pressure right now sits on Detroit to keep its season alive. Those are the games where you find out who has real poise. That game is very intense. Out west, Spurs Wolves is youth versus urgency. Spurs kids are playing free. The Wolves are playing with expectations on their back. Every fourth quarter possession feels like a referendum on where both franchises are headed. Then you look on the NHL side of things as we hit the ice. Playoff chaos. We got playoff chaos in NBA and NHL right now. And you got Canadians and Sabres, and they're giving you everything they want that you could even want in a hockey matchup. Blown leads, wild comebacks, loud buildings. Both teams are being forced to show why they really are, who they really are, when it really matters most. Incredible that the Sabres can end up getting taken out. Over on the MLB side of things, I want to talk real quick about the Baltimore Orioles. They just handed the New York Yankees one of those losses that just kind of sticks with you. It really stings. The Yankees have been flirting with a no-hitter bid. And then everything felt comfortable, and then Baltimore broke it up as they flipped the momentum with one swing, walk out with a 3-2 win, and then a tight AL East. That's not just another random loss in May. That's the kind of game you point back to if this race comes down to a game or two that Baltimore may have picked up. We'll have more on the scoreboard coming up, but that's your scoreboard tonight, brought to you by Southwest Airlines Rewards. Let your teams take the ice, the field, the floor, and more importantly, let your fandom take flight.
Hey, it's Wes Pruett from 4 Star Sports Media, your 24/7 home for sports coverage. Podcasts, live shows, and expert takes all in one place. 4star.live on web and 4Star Sports M on X. From the hardwood of Hogs Hoops to conference crunch of college football, we're diving deep. Whether it's Memphis Preps, the latest NFL headlines, or ringside breakdowns of WWE and AEW, it's all happening here at 4Star Sports Media.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for the debut of 4-Star Sports Central. I appreciate everyone tuning in, as tonight we've broke down how the one-window transfer portal era and the 12-team playoff are going to continue to reshape college football as we know it. We talked about two teams on the brink as we put Colorado and Penn State into the spotlight tonight. And we flew through the scoreboard. So you're ready for everything happening on the floor, the ice, and the diamond. And don't worry, we'll be on the hardwood as well. That's the mission every Saturday, folks. Give you the big story, the big pressure points, and the big results all in one place. And hey, this is just day one, folks, for 4-Star Sports Central. We're going to grow this thing with you. More stories, more teams on the brink, more scoreboard pressure, including guests as well, every single Saturday right here on 4-Star Sports Media. One more time, 4-Star Sports Central is presented to you by SeatGeek. If you're heading to a game, hit SeatGeek and use promo code, all capital letters, 4-Star Sports Media for $20 off your first ticket purchase of $50 or more. That's 4-Star Sports Media at checkout over on SeatGeek. I'm Wes Pruett. This has been the debut episode of 4-Star Sports Central. Enjoy the rest of the night, folks. We'll talk to you later.
Now,